Good afternoon, welcome back. This is Saima. I'm from Southeast England, a nurse, and I'm currently practicing here in the UK since 2 years. In today's video, we are going to talk about OET reading and what are the mechanics that you need to know. And I'm also going to share with you some tips and tricks to pass your OET exam. Reading we are doing today. And if you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing. I provide information about UK nursing and English language test, accommodation, housing, each and everything you can think of we discuss on this channel. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. Without any further delay, let's dive into the video. So in OET reading, as you all know, there are three sections of the test. In part A, there are 20 questions. Yes, 20 questions, and you get 15 minutes to do the test. So in each 45 seconds, you have to answer one question, and it can be quite difficult if you are not used to it. If you don't do enough practice, it can be a difficult exam reading, especially because most of people they fail OET reading because the paragraph part 2 section 2 and 3 can be quite tricky and they are very lengthy as well. So I'm going to share with you my tips and how I passed OET reading. So the first thing I want to highlight is you need to know that part A has four sections, four text A, B, C, and D. And the first thing you need to do is you only get 15 minutes, right? So you need to keep in mind that you are going to save your time as much as possible. You need to practice it every day and give yourself at least 13 minutes to do that, to do part A. Do not give yourself a bit concentration, or because they will not give you extra time, you will only have 15 minutes. So try practicing and try doing it within 13 minutes at home and see how many answers you get right. You need to practice it every day, especially when your exam is close. You can do maybe 3 or 4 practice tests each day in order to accelerate, right? So in part A, you get 4 texts, A, B, C, and D. So first thing you need to do is within 15 seconds just speed read all of the text part A. In part A, text A, B, C, speed read, go through the keywords and phrases. It will save you loads of time, because also the first question you will get in what in part A, in part A first question you get in which text you find this information. So if you know how to skim and scan, go through the phrases and the keywords quickly, and then then only you will know in which text you can find information about that particular question. And you also need to know that you are not just matching the words, because same words can be in all 4 texts. Try to understand the theme of the paragraph, or try to understand the whole idea, what is that paragraph about. All right. And you don't need to change the words, write the words as they are in the paragraph. So if you're going to answer something, you need to write the exact words and incorrect spellings. Yes, so the first thing is first find in which text I can find the answer to this question, find relevant section, and then read carefully to find answer. So you need to go through it quickly, skim and scanning. If you're not sure how to do the skim and scanning technique, it's quite easy. You need to read as much as you can. When you go through a paragraph, you quickly scan through your eyes, quickly read what are the important words, what are the relevant words, and what are the key phrases of that thing, that paragraph. Then only you will be knowing what is that paragraph about, because in OET reading you will not have enough time to go through each and every bit. All right, so you can skip words like articles, you can skip and the, you can skip a word like for or something like that. All these simple words you can skip through and focus on the main keywords and paraphrases. then only you can get enough time to answer all the questions, right? If you're not sure where to read and how to get confident in reading, you can I will give you some websites. You can go there daily and read at least one article or one journal. It will help you to boost your OET reading. All right, so I used to read from a British Medical Journal and also BMC Family Practice. You can do that too. And also I was using Nature Medicine. You need to go on that website. Need to go on to this website, and you can read at least one article or two articles if you can daily, and try to read it like in a speedy way. I mean, give yourself 10 or 15 minutes. If you choose a lengthy article, give yourself 10 minutes to read it like very quickly. And also what you can do is you need to read it loud. No need to read in your mouth or whisper. You need to read it loud because you can hear yourself. Then only you will understand it better. I know in exam it's not possible, but if you practice it this way, it will become easier for you to pass your OET reading exam. So you need to practice reading article every day and then read it loud. And also you can read from Medical Journal of Australia, Free Medical Journals, or Clinical Medicine, ABC Health Newsletter. They are also very good. New England Journal of Medicine, yeah, you can read article from there. Or British Medical British Medical Journal Health and Care Informatics. They are very very good. So I used to read only from Nature Health, Nature Medicines and British Medical Journal. You can include these two in your routine and start reading every day. Practice for reading, you also need to know in part A what kind of text they give. So in part A, they usually give text like diagnostic tools or algorithms, advice to be given to patients, dosage options for medicines, and treatment guidelines. So in paragraph A, in part A, this kind of text you are going to get, and they are quite easy. If you practice it every day, they are very, you get used to it, and then they become very very easy. This is the easiest part of the test, part A. Easiest part of the test, of reading test, is part A. If you can get 20 marks in that, for sure you are going to pass this exam, because part B is a bit difficult, part C is difficult than B and A, right? So you need to make sure that you get 20, at least 18 marks in part A in order to succeed, right? So let's say in part A, I've said what kind of text you're going to get, and in part B, let me go through it again. In part B, you usually get like policies, procedures, staff updates, or announcement. And when you go through it, when you use the skim and scan technique, you get the general idea of the text, and you understand the main point and purpose of the text also. Because in part B, they are going to give you policies, procedures, and guidelines for the staff, and it is a bit lengthy than part A. So when we move to part C, part C is trickier. It's very strict and it's very long, it's very lengthy. I know that in part C, in reading exam, you don't get enough time. You have enough time, but you don't get time to read that lengthy story or the lengthy article. So you need to be very quick in reading. And also it's really hard to find answers for part C and part B. So in part C, in this part C subtest, you are going to you need to be aware about the comprehensive text, and also infer meaning and identify points of view. As I said, in part B also, you need to understand the point of view, what is the purpose of that text. In C also, you need to understand the comprehensive text and lengthy text, and try to understand the point of view of that text. So in part C, the text usually they include medical facts and different perspectives on the topic, And also example they include progress of the research or case studies. So that's why part C is a bit difficult, because they include diagnostic procedures, they include research studies, and what happened and why it happened and what was the conclusion. So part C can be quite tricky and difficult, but if you don't practice, if you practice, then you can pass this exam. You need to practice it every day and try reading as much as you can. Most people, they like to read newspaper but for me, I was like I didn't like reading newspaper, and it is too time consuming, and most of the times it gets boring also. So if you don't like to read newspaper, you can read articles, you can read journals, or you can read the headlines from the drama series, or anything you like, to be honest. If you like to read research, or you want to read channels like Geographic Channel, you can read their captions also. It will help you. And British Medical Journal, they have really good journals there, articles there. And if you are not sure what to read, if you are interested in reading about cosmetics, or new medications, or anything that's coming new pre-launch, you can read that things also. Whatever you find interested in reading, you can read that stuff. The point here is you need to speed up your reading skills, and you need to learn how to skim and scan quickly. Every day you get a paragraph, you need to get a paragraph, read it through quickly, and then if the paragraph has 10 lines, let's say, you need to give yourself at least 3 or 4 minutes to go through that paragraph, skim and scan quickly, and try to understand the meaning of that paragraph, try to understand the point of view that for that paragraph, and then see how you are doing it. All right, every day you can practice one subtest. If you want to do only for I find it easy doing this way. I was practicing for part A for 3 or 4 days, and then I would practice part B and then part C. So if you want to do it one subtest, whole subtest, part A and B, part A, B and C in one day, you can do that too. But if you find it like very difficult, then you can practice it doing like part 1 for one day, and do 3 or 4 subtests for part A only. And then after 3 or 4 days, when you feel like confident, when you feel confident in doing part A, you can start practicing part B, and give yourself 3 or 4 days to learn how to do part B, how to do skim and scanning technique, and how to find the answers, how to understand the point of view. If you feel confident in doing part B, then you can go for part C, because the difficulty level progress as the test progresses. So if part A is the easiest, then part B is a bit difficult, part C is difficult than all of them, right? So if you get 20 points, 20 marks in part A, well and good, you can pass the test. And then if you get like for 5 or 6 in part C, that's absolutely fine. So what should be your focus? Your focus should be only on concentrating on part A. Try to get 20 points for part A, and practice, because practice only makes the man perfect. If you don't practice, you're not gonna pass the Oet reading. Oet reading is difficult. Most of the people, they say writing is difficult, but I would say reading is more difficult than writing. All right, so you need to pay close attention to reading. If you're not used to read books or journals or articles, you can watch your drama series and read the captions of that. You can watch if you like to watch makeup artist, or someone is doing makeup for somebody, you can read the captions of anything you like to watch. If you want to listen to the songs, you can read the captions for that also. But the thing is, these things are really good to improve your English, your basic English, or your general English knowledge. all right. But here in OET, you are going to be tested on your medical knowledge, right? That is why it's important for you to read medical journals. You can read British medical journal, medical journals, researches, studies, or anything related to medicals. If you don't know what to read, you can just go online and read about hypertension, or blood sugar, or heart diseases. Anything you, if you find interested, you can read about that, and make it habit to do reading for at least 1 or 2 hour every day. Yes, 1 or 2 hour reading every day. It's 100% the results you are going to see 100% if you are going to practice them every day. So that's it for today's video. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. You can share it with your friends and colleagues. If someone is writing the exam very soon, you can share it with them. I hope these videos will help you, and these tips and tricks, you are going to use them in your practice. And the final thing I want to say is practice, practice, and practice. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye bye. God bless.